predicting the outcome of the general election in 12 marginal constituencies. I called all 12 constituencies successfully and won the princely sum of 6 panels. 3 days before this latest election, my brother-in-law asked me how many seats I thought the Conservative Party would win. My answer was 120. Regrettably, I was one out. The Conservatives, despite my best efforts and those of a select few, are now the party of high spending and high taxes. But if that is not bad enough, they are also the party of high immigration. Under Margaret Thatcher, annual immigration was held to the tens of thousands. Now her successors have been prepared to allow millions of immigrants into this country. But I must say that, in my opinion, it is traditional Labour voters who have suffered the most adverse consequences from high immigration. Excessively high immigration can adversely affect their employment prospects, their wage prospects, their accommodation prospects, and the education prospects of their children. Now, there are those who believe that the success of the Reform Party was a flash in the pan. I'm afraid that I disagree with that view. Reform got some 17% of the vote in our general election and 5 seats in Parliament. The Liberal Democrats got less votes, but 70 seats. I wonder why the Lib Dems never talk about proportional representation anymore. I believe that the most significant constituency result in our general election was that in the Ashfield constituency, where Lee Anderson won the seat for the Reform Party. Lee had sat in Parliament as a Conservative, but Ashfield has always had the characteristics of a Labour seat, which it has been for decades. Ashfield was a so-called Red Wall seat, and its capture by Lee for the Reform Party indicates there may well be millions of disillusioned Labour voters who will turn to Reform at the next general election. The tragedy for the Conservative Party is that I believe that the leadership had a golden opportunity to seek a rapprochement with Nigel Farage when he stood down candidates for the benefit of the Conservative Party in the 2019 general election. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister at that time delegated considerable responsibilities to someone called Dominic Cummings, a man, for various reasons, devoid of political subtleties. Continental Europe is now facing an obsession with federalism. The prospects for growth are anemic. The euro proves that one size cannot fit all, and the tsunami of illegal immigrants has led to the re-emergence of extremist parties. I began with the Tory party and I will end with the Tory party. It is not just Britain that is suffering from the adverse consequences of high immigration. France and Italy in particular are confronting a similar trend. A direct consequence of this is that President Meloni in Italy and Marine Le Pen in France now receive support from around 30% of the electorate. It is for this reason that I believe peak Farage will be a lot higher than the 17% share of the vote that Reform secured at our recent general election. This will be a major obstacle to any attempt by the Conservative Party to regain power. The Conservative Party is still the main opposition to Labour, and it will choose, its choice of the next leader will be of some considerable significance. Let me say that, in my opinion, there is only one candidate who can offer any prospect of a coherent policy agenda, and that is Robert Jenrick. Robert fought a long and difficult battle to try and ensure that legislation would be brought forward to stop the small votes. He failed in that endeavour because Rishi Sunak could not accept that it was necessary for Britain to leave the jurisdiction of the European Court of Human Rights. Many Conservative MPs who share this ill-conceived idea to remain within the jurisdiction of this court mean that the Conservative Party has been robbed of the opportunity to control immigration to this country. The Conservatives now need Robert's analysis and determination if they are to survive and succeed. I dearly hope that Robert Jenrick will get through the parliamentary stage of this contest, and I believe if he does, he will have the support of the majority of our members. I also understand that as leader, he will dismantle the A-list system of selecting Conservative members of Parliament. This system, I believe, has been profoundly damaging to our party and has been part of the reason for our catastrophic electoral result. Many of our MPs do not share the values and principles of the association members who have been required to select them. The abolition of the A-list will provide a fresh unity of purpose between the grassroots and those privileged to represent the Conservative Party in Parliament. It's only through this change that the Conservatives can become a vibrant party capable of governing this country once again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.